Hello and welcome to Coffee Lovers TV. On the show today, we're going to be taking a look at some coffees from Hayman. Hayman is a coffee roaster based out of London. They've been around for a few years, since about 2014, I think, and they focus on buying and roasting and presenting really kind of high quality, specialty, sort of in some cases I think legendary coffees. And they sent to me a Kona Coffee from Hawaii and a Jamaican Blue Mountain. They also have right now a Panama Geisha and a Cup of Excellence winner, or Brazil coffee. So they are buying expensive, admittedly expensive coffees and roasting them and selling them. And I think actually I'm really excited to try out these coffees today. Again, I've got the Kona and the Jamaican Blue Mountain. I've had some good Jamaican Blue Mountain actually this year, but prior to that, I'd not ever really had any Jamaican Blue Mountain that I enjoyed, and the same could be said for Kona. Usually the Kona coffee that I get is just roasted to ash, and I think the same for the Jamaican Blue Mountain, but I did run into some folks this year who showed me some good Jamaican Blue Mountain, but this smells really good. I'm looking forward to trying both of these. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be brewing these up on the Kalita Wave. I'm gonna do the Hawaii Kona Coffee first, and I've got a little card I can tell you some things about it. We do the Kona Coffee first and then the Jamaica Blue Mountain all in this video. If you'd like to skip ahead to the Jamaica Blue Mountain, I'll link below the video to the timestamp for that one, and the same for this as well, so you can watch either of them. But we're gonna go ahead and jump right into the Hawaii, and then we're gonna brew it. So I got a little card here from Hayman for each of these coffees. I'm just gonna go ahead and read what I got here, and then we'll have a smell of this and then brew it. So Hawaii Kona is one of the rarest and most famous coffees. This precious treasure is grown on the slopes of volcanoes Hualalai and Mauna Loa, located in the Kona district of the Big Island of Hawaii. My apologies if I butchered the pronunciations. This region presents ideal coffee growing conditions such as perfect altitude, rich volcanic soil, Hawaiian sunshine, and gentle rainfall. The surrounding volcanoes protect the coffee trees against excessive wind. So the Kona Coffee, and the same with Jamaica Blue Mountain, one of the things that's a bit unique about these, and you've probably heard these names before, these are branded names. There's a lot of marketing that's gone into both of these. And in order for the coffee to be labeled as Kona, it has to have, I think, at least 90% of the coffee that's in that coffee being sold has to be a Kona coffee. This is actually 100% Kona. They have some notes on the back. It says 100% extra fancy Hawaii Kona coffee. From the Kona district, it's Arabica. Kona Typica is the varietal. It's grown at an altitude of 550 to 700 meters, and the harvest period of September to February. So they'd be harvesting right now. It's a wet process, medium body, sweet caramel notes, pleasant acidity, balanced and smooth with a very clean finish, rich and sweet aroma. So that's the Kona. Let's have a quick smell and then we'll brew it up. I was smelling this earlier. I took it out of these bags because they came in completely sealed bags in the box here. Just little samples, but the aroma on this is, there's something really satisfying about smelling this. It does have a sweetness to it and a richness, something really smooth about it, almost like vanilla, almost nuttiness. I almost want to say chocolate, but it's not really chocolate. Maybe it's more almost a caramel aroma. That smells really good. It looks really well roasted as well. By well roasted, I mean like skillfully. It looks like a medium roast. Nothing's burned. Nothing looks odd. I'm looking forward to this. So I'm going to go ahead and brew this up on the Kalita Wave, and then we'll be right back. All right, we're back. So we've just brewed the Kona Coffee up on the Kalita Wave. It has a really nice sweet aroma, like sweet caramel, maybe a little bit of nuttiness. Smooth and sweet. It's actually got a lot of, I'd almost identify it as like classic coffee aroma. Very sweet. It's got a really good level of sweetness. A nice roastiness to it as well. Not burnt, but just like kind kind of the caramelized sugar roastiness that you get in coffee when you go to a good medium level of roast. But I'm getting lots of caramel, lots of sugar. It's quite smooth and enjoyable. Oh, really delicious. So something I think that's worth talking about. Hawaii coffee is going through a lot of challenges right now. The coffee borer beetle is quite a problem for coffee growing regions in Hawaii. The coffee borer beetle is just this little beetle that it'll eat into the fruit and then lay its eggs in the seed, or I think it's in the kind of the membrane that surrounds the pit, surrounds the seed, or might be actually in the seed. And then what happens is when the larvae hatch, they will go and eat the seed. So it's a huge problem because obviously any coffee that ends up with the beetle, ends up with the larva, can't be used. So that all has to be thrown away. It's also really hard to track. Now, my understanding is the only way that they can really try to stop it is to harvest the fruit, harvest the seeds before the larvae hatch and before they eat the rest of the coffee. And that tends to happen around when the fruit gets ripe. So not only are farmers losing a lot of their crop, huge amounts of their crop, and a lot of farms are going under. So not only are a lot of farmers losing a lot of their crop just to the beetle, but they have to harvest a lot of their crop early. It's also a pest that spreads. So if one farm nearby has it, then the next farm is likely to get it as well. One of the sort of chain reactions that's kind of happening is a farm will get the beetle, they'll lose so much of their crop that they go out of business. They'll go under, the farm will become abandoned, and then the coffee plants will just keep growing. But there's no one there to try to stop the beetle. There's no one there to pick the coffee early. So it becomes essentially a breeding ground for more of the pests. And I think the cycle just continues. I don't have a firsthand account of what's going on. I haven't gotten to see it, but from what I've been told of people who have, it's a really big problem. And I don't know what the answer is going to be to that. Hopefully Hawaiian coffee farmers will be able to work through it and come out on the other end. But I guess all that is to say that good Hawaiian coffee is already hard to come by, and it's just going to get more challenging. This is quite delicious. Let me take a look at their notes again, because my response to this is just sweet and caramel. It's not really complex. It's just got sweetness and richness and caramel and a little bit of toastiness. Makes for a really nice cup of coffee. That's basically what their notes are. Sweet caramel, pleasant acidity. So the acidity of a coffee being the part of it that creates the brighter taste, the brighter notes. If you see me talking about a coffee being like fruity or floral or citrus, anything like that, or talking about the brightness of it, all that is the acidity in the coffee creating those tastes. And I think there is this little brightness to it. I can't quite put my finger on it as to what the taste is. It could be the sort of bright edge of a caramel, and that could very well stand as a pleasant acidity. Definitely do agree with it being balanced and smooth, and it does have a nice clean finish. I just like the richness and the sweetness of this. It's quite an excellent coffee. It's very well done, very well done. Really nice to enjoy Kona Coffee finally. I hope I get more opportunities for that in the future. Okay, next up we're going to be doing the Jamaican Blue Mountain. All right, so now we have the Jamaican Blue Mountain coffee from Hayman. Jamaican Blue Mountain coffee is also another one of those branded coffees, and it's one that, like I said before, I haven't had too many really good experiences with it. Most of the time, it's just roasted too dark, as a lot of coffee is, and then I think you lose out on some of the magic. This, again, looks like a really well done roast, but a medium roast. I'm kind of diving into smelling it before I get to the card, but why not? Because it's got nice sweetness. I'd say like a melon aroma. There's some like light bright melon to it. And that's what my nose is sticking on. There's a bit of sugar in there as well. And something else I can't Can't put my finger on it. This is a good coffee to smell. Different than the Kona. The Kona, I think, was much simpler. This, I think, this is a bit more of a complex nature to the aroma. Like there's just more going on insofar as how it's tickling my nose. All right, let me get to the card really quick. Jamaica Blue Mountain's heritage dates back to the 18th century, and it is one of the most sought-after coffees in the world. The Blue Mountain Coffee Belt is a narrow piece of land located in the easternmost part of the Jamaican island, where a unique microclimate featuring the perfect mix of rainfall, shade, altitude, and mineral-rich soil conjures to offer one of the greatest and rarest coffees. And the tasting notes. This is 100% Grade 1 Jamaica Blue Mountain coffee. And this lists Blue Mountain as the varietal. I guess that is technically correct. Most of the time when I think of varietals, I think of more scientific sounding names, but this varietal was named after the location. So, growing altitude of 900 to 1700 meters, harvest period of August to September. It's a wet process, medium to light body. The flavor is sweet, pleasant acidity, chocolate notes, and the aroma of floral and walnuts. So now that I've read the aroma notes, let me go back and have a look. What did I say? I said there's some kind of melon on there. I could easily see floral as well. I think what I was seeing as melon is also the floral. I think I almost said floral at the beginning too, flowers, but there's a sweetness to it that makes me think more of like a honeydew or something like that. I could see the walnuts, like toasted walnuts, something like that. There's a smoothness to it. Let's go ahead and we're gonna brew this up on the Kalita Wave and have a taste, and we'll be right back. All right, we're back. We just brewed up the Jamaica Blue Mountain on the Kalita Wave. The aroma of this, as I'm noticing brewing as well, is extremely floral. Can't really pinpoint a flower. It just feels in the nose like smelling a flower feels like. It's also got some smoothness to it. A little sugar sweetness. Ooh, very interesting. The aroma, both the aroma of the coffee and of the brewed, aroma of the whole bean and of the brewed smell. They have a lightness to them, but the brew, this has a rich sweetness, good level of body. It's subtle. It's subtle in its flavors. There's definitely a sweetness to it. I could say floral as well. Maybe a little bit of melon to it. There isn't a distinct standout. Like I could easily say caramel for the Kona. This has floral. It has melon. I could see chocolatiness to it as well, but it's more juicy. It's interesting. I'm trying to think about this coffee in terms of other coffees that I've had, because this Jamaican Blue Mountain is an old brand. Coffee's obviously been grown there for a long time, so it's got a bit of legend to it. And how does this compare to other coffees? I don't feel like that I have the ability to taste a coffee and pinpoint where it's from. I'm not sure how much coffee I would have to drink, how many varied coffees I'd have to drink to figure that out. There's also the additional factor that the way the coffee is grown and processed and harvested and handled and roasted affects all of that. Like, I'm not sure that I've certainly had Jamaica Blue Mountain before, but I don't remember it being this like delicate and this enjoyable. It almost has a tea-like quality to it, but there's like chocolate coffee body to this cup. So it's not really at all like tea. It's definitely coffee. But yeah, melon sweetness, floral, maybe a little bit of walnuts. Very delicious. So that was Jamaica Blue Mountain. Before that, we had the Hawaii Kona. Again, I'm linking to the beginning of both of those timestamps below the video, so you can check them out individually. This has been Hayman Coffee out of London. They specialize in high-end, high-quality, expensive, rare, interesting coffees. Pretty interesting brand, and they're doing a really good job roasting. So this has been quite a treat. I'll link to them below the video as well as everything else that I've used brewing today. Don't forget to go download a free issue of Coffee Lovers Magazine. Thank you for watching, and have a good week.